40 years in the bar business, long time, I'll tell you that.
40 years of memories, of stories, of service. Joe's Nighthawk is a bar as unique as its name, a staple in the Waverly community and a connector among all Wartburg students, past and present. It was 1971 when Joe Breitbach graduated from Wartburg with plans to carry on his love of wrestling through coaching. He had a degree in biology education. He worked at a Waverly restaurant known as Pepe Tacos and was ready to start his young professional life. But his plans changed. A loyal customer at Pepe's and a local banker saw a spark in Joe and his knack for business. He offered Joe a loan to open his own bar, and so began Joe's Nighthawk.
40 years ago, there was a 23-year-old college kid just out of school who had a college degree, but maybe wasn't thinking that he wanted to be a coach and teacher. There were some other things that he was thinking about. And someone stepped up and said, well, I think you should have a bar. I think you're good at the business. You are a great people person. You're good with money. I think you should have your own bar. But that probably wouldn't happen much in today's world.
They are probably two of the hardest working people that I know. And I know that they're both very businesslike, and they have to be. They just have so much going on all the time. But very kind hearts. Probably not surprising about Julie, but Joe, I think everybody sees this gruff exterior, but he has a very kind heart.
There's a whole nother side of Joe when he's not on the business side. Again, he cares deeply. So does Julie about Waverly and about Wartburg, and being there only on a Friday or Saturday night. You may not see that all the time.
What would my life be without Joe's Nighthawk? I don't know. It really, you have to take a look back at it, and it went so fast. It happened, but in the time that it happened, you just aren't counting the hours and counting the days. So to get 40 years in the bar business, it really has gone fast.
But the years have not only flown for Joe. For 4 decades now, the entire Breitbach family has come to know Joe's Nighthawk as a place of comfort and a place where countless hours have been spent.
Really, we didn't understand it as a bar. It was just where our parents worked. So we would hang out during the day, and it wasn't like, I sometimes think of this movie, Sweet Home Alabama, where they're like, you have a baby in a bar. And I was like, that was me.
It was home, and it still is. I mean, we've spent so many hours in there. I mean, my folks especially, but even us kids. I mean, each one of us grew up in there. And, you know, it's just another home.
But among the memories came sacrifice and the challenge of balancing work and home life.
Growing up at the bar was definitely exciting and sometimes a little bit frustrating. It's tough to raise a family and keep traditional hours and so on and so forth in the bar lifestyle. They've had to sacrifice a lot of stuff for the family just to make sure that the bar is successful.
As frustrating as it may have been, the contribution of all Breitbachs in and out of the bar, as well as their trusted staff, are the reasons for its long-standing legacy.
Our parents, because we worked there, they didn't treat us as if they were our kids when we were on the clock. So whether, you know, we were their kids or not, we had to work hard, we had to do what we were told. It was a way to kind of teach us the work ethic that they already had.
She did a wonderful job raising our children, and I wasn't able to do a lot of that with some of the hours that I had. But you know, it takes two to make it work, and it takes two of us to make the Nighthawk work.
Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was Joe's Nighthawk. Countless hours and painstaking work combined with an endless passion have mixed together the past 4 decades to create an irreplaceable business that left its mark in many people's lives.
How could you keep doing that? And it's hard work. It's very hard work. It's not like Joe and Julie just own this place and somebody runs it. I don't know how they can keep doing that. They are just very strong-willed people.
You know, Julie doesn't wake me up, I don't wake Julie up. We just know what we have to do during the day. We get up and get it done. We have a motto: as much as we can, as fast as we can, with as much courtesy and time as necessary to do it.
Without a doubt, their work ethic is the best I've ever seen out of anybody. I mean, they, at 65 years old, for my dad and mom to be able to do it every night, day in, day out, just like they were doing it when they were 25 years old, is incredible.
I don't know, I guess it's the things he does well, he does. Things I do well, I do, and they aren't the same things, so they fit together. You know, he doesn't give up on something that he tries. He perseveres. He's self-motivated. So yeah, a lot of the qualities that he has, I admire very much.
So he's the accountant, he's the bartender, he's the fix-it man, he's the cook, he does everything. So the hard work that goes behind that is you're constantly on call. You never can take the day off completely, because if something goes wrong, it's your livelihood. It all falls back on you.
While this work causes wear and tear on the Bright Box, the stories from their customers, families, and friends prove that benefits far outweigh the costs.
The bar, to me, is home. So I think it's a tradition that a lot of people love. They hold dear to their hearts. I know when you think of Wartburg, you think Joe's hand in hand. So for me, it's all about tradition, and I am so proud that it's part of my family, my heritage, and it's a part of my life I wouldn't change for the world.
It is such a great feeling to walk up to Joe's and you grab that neat kind of black twisted handle on that heavy orange door, and the door creaks open and you walk in and it's like, it's okay, I'm kind of home. You know, Joe and Merk are behind the bar, Julie's running around waitressing, Nadine's back in the kitchen. And it's just that constant kind of a solid feeling that people get from being there.
It's a pillar. I mean, it's like Old Main on campus. You know, it's just been there for that long, and it's a place where so many students over the years have at least gone in, you know, and had fun, and so they go back.
And somebody stopped in the other day. Joe just had to see you know, and it was just somebody in passing through our lives, you know, and we've made an impact on theirs, and that's kind of swell.
I don't know everybody by name, but they'll come up and say, "Aren't you Joe?" And I'll say, "Yeah, how do you know?" "Well, I was there in 1982 or whatever." And they start relating to us the good times they had, and we say, "Well, that's what we're there for. We hope you did enjoy yourself."
People may remember things differently, and they may have varying opinions of the events that took place, but do they all have one thing that they do remember? You bet.
Often somebody would ask me a question, I'd say, "You bet." And then we made it into sort of our logo. It's sort of a stamp of, yeah, you bet.
But if Joe hasn't copyrighted that, he should. Because if you say Joe's, you know, and if you would say Danson, somebody else would answer, "You bet."
Some might simply see Joe's Nighthawk as a bar. Others remember the memories made there during their time at Wartburg or as a community member. For Joe and Julie, the Nighthawk has been a noble way to give back over the years.
Well, I like to say that no day is complete without doing something for someone who can't hope to repay you back. And that's sort of my motto. I like to do things for people. I like to do things, thoughtful things that nobody would think, you know, to prompt me to do. I enjoy being nice to people. And I feel like that it's a pay it forward kind of thing too.
It's few and far between anymore of people taking the time and the effort of what they've done for Wartburg, Waverly Shell Rock. I mean, they're a staple in this community, and they have done everything in their power to make sure that they leave Waverly a better place, Wartburg a better place, and the high school a better place.
Ask Joe and Julie what they like most about Waverly. They'll simply ask in return, what's not to like? While they have nothing but kind words to say about the town, the couple holds a special place in their hearts for Wartburg College. From the Wall of Champions to a location that is practically on campus, it seems unimaginable to have one without the other.
Wartburg's pretty good to us, and we feel that it's our, not our duty, but we want to give back to them too. And we've done it monetarily, but we also spend a lot of time helping out over there too.
Yeah, he's done so much to promote Wartburg, and I'm not sure anybody else in there would be as willing to do that because of all the work that it takes to do the things that he's done.
Joe and Julie particularly enjoy giving back to the Wartburg wrestling team. Joe wrestled for the team and later coached. They will even be inducted into the Wrestling Hall of Fame in return for their contributions.
He loves to keep things going, and so whether it's progression as far as building a wrestling tournament in Vegas, which was kind of his idea really, that is kind of a story that just we were sitting around one night and we needed another tournament, and Vegas kind of popped up, and why wouldn't we go to Vegas for a wrestling tournament?
If you would see our social after the national tournament, it is amazing. And who did that? I did. All we did as the staff and the coaching staff and wrestlers after the tournament is show up. That's all we did. There was a stage, there was food, it was organized, there was music. That's Joe Breitbach and Julie. And I'm telling you, other coaches that know that scenario, I'm talking about Division I coaches, I don't know how many of those have said, we need a Joe Breitbach. I'm talking about Division I coaches. We need a Joe Breitbach. I say, you're not getting mine.
Beyond the walls of Wartburg, Joe and Julie are passionate about dedicating their time to organizations around Waverly. Julie, particularly, enjoys volunteering at St. Paul's, where all three Breitbach children, Jay, Jenny, and Jamie, attended elementary school.
She just showed up one day and said, hey, I'd like to volunteer at your school. Let me know if there's anything I can do. First of all, I think to see an adult who's willing to volunteer their time, to basically come and do a job without getting paid for it, because she has a talent that she can share and she has the ability to do this. So I think it's a really good role model for them to see people who are giving.
None of these commitments are obligatory, and a great deal of effort is made to fit volunteer work into their schedules. However, they are motivated by their kind hearts.
Everybody said, wow, you do such a great job with the wrestling program and all that. Hey, that's a plus for us. I mean, we enjoy it.
We get so much out of that.
We're not the ones giving there. We're sort of takers in that field, it just, we live for that.
Yeah, it's a huge part of our lives. It would be
and
weird
we don't
without
even,
that.
we don't even think about the time that it takes to do it.
He's one of my best friends. And there's a guy that I trust, because he's just a solid person, that you could go to him with an issue and he'd help you, period.
I do remember one time Wartburg had these old bleachers in the old Knights gymnasium, and I fell asleep because I was a little kid in the bleachers and fell all the way down underneath the bleachers, and Joe was the one that scrambled in and got me out, and it was a great break in the dual meet, evidently.
I know they would do anything for me, and I've known them a long time, and there have been times when Joe and Julie have helped me out with stuff, and I've always appreciated that, and I hope down the road that I don't need that again, but if I did, I know that they would be there for me.
Just such generous people. It just is amazing. And they don't want any recognition or, people thanking them all the time for what they do. They just want to do it out of the goodness of their hearts and their love for Wartburg. I just think we're just so lucky to have them both.
The second best decision of my professional career was to come to Wartburg. The number one decision I made in my coaching career was to stay at Wartburg. Because of people like Joe and Julie, it made it real hard to leave. And like I said, the best decision I made was to stay. So That's pretty powerful.
After 40 years of hard work and enriching the community, it is natural that Joe and Julie may want to slow down, whether it be to travel, rest, or spend time with their growing family.
If I was done tomorrow, I don't know whether I'd say hallelujah. It would be, it'd be tough.
I think you'd be bored.
I would like to think that we ran it right. We provided food and beverage the proper way, and we provided entertainment and a place that people can go and feel at ease and get to meet people. It would be a very strange time for me. I don't know what I'll do when I retire.
I hope that they can settle down. The bar's a lot of work, and they've put their blood, sweat, and tears into it. So I hope they can relax, retire, settle down, you know, enjoy the wealth that they've been able to create between the friends they've made and all of the experiences they had. They need to go enjoy it.
Should the Bright Box step away from the business, would it still be the same Joe's Nighthawk? Is Joe's still Joe's without Joe?
My dad has worked so hard to make Joe's what it is, and his work ethic shows up in everything that is Joe's. So without them, it's just another restaurant.
It would be a hard one to swallow.
Ooh.
Not nearly what it is with Joe, that's for sure.
Oh, Joe's is Joe's without Joe's, I'll tell you that. There's not a problem with this place going on long after I'm gone. Maybe it'll be Larry's or Bob's or something like that, but this location next to Wartburg College, and if whoever takes it from me does some of the things that we put into place as far as taking care of the business properly, there's no reason why Joe's can't be here for another 40 years, simply because of the Waverly community and Wartburg College.
Since it's been here so long and it's touched so many students and so many people's lives through these 40 years, it's always going to be that feeling of friendly Wartburg unity, feeling safe here, feeling like you're a part of something. The reason that people come to Joe's most is to be with their friends. And that's so true, and it'll always be that way because of where we are and who the clientele are that come here. And they do feel like it's a comfortable place to see friends and hang out, have fun.